Today we're going to talk about a superpower that every woman dreams of having. It's not the ability to read minds or to fly. It's the ability to speak so that you're not just listened to, but truly heard. So that your words create not arguments, but closeness. So that you feel loved and understood. Many people think this is an innate gift. But as a specialist who has worked with hundreds of women, I can say this is a skill, just like driving a car or swimming, and it can be learned. Words like nothing, fine, okay, everything's all right. These aren't just words, they're little killers of intimacy, quiet betrayals of yourself. With every such nothing, another brick is added to the invisible wall of misunderstanding between you and your man. And one day you wake up and realize you're living with a stranger who has no idea what's really going on in your soul. Today we're not going to talk about who's to blame. We're going to get down to business. We're going to install 3 programs into your internal operating system that will radically change your communication in just 2 weeks. This isn't magic, it's practical psychology. 3 steps that will teach you to speak a language men understand. A language that doesn't create conflict, but inspires the desire to embrace and understand. Your task is to practice them consciously for 2 weeks. Don't expect the world to change overnight. But I promise, if you're honest with yourself, in just 14 days, you'll notice a change in the atmosphere of your relationship. You'll start to feel not a wall, but a bridge between you and your man. Are you ready for this reboot? Then let's go. Exercise 1. Detective of your own feelings? What exactly should you do? The first step is to bring our invisible enemy into the light. For the next 70 days, your main tool will be a small notebook or the Notes app on your phone. Your task is to become a detective investigating one important case. What is really happening to me? As soon as you feel a sudden sting of a negative emotion inside, hurt, anger, irritation, longing, in response to his words or actions, you immediately, like a real forensic expert, record the evidence. Situation: what objectively happened? Example: he called and said he was going to be late at work. Emotion: what feeling pierced you? Name it. Example: hurt, a pang of loneliness. Automatic thought: what was the very first lightning-fast thought that flashed through your mind? The one you're even afraid to admit. Example: of course, his work is more important than me again. I'm at the very bottom of his list. Filler word: what word did you want to say or did say to hide all of the above? Example: nothing. It's fine. Go ahead and work. Of course I understand. Why does this work like clockwork? Girls, understand the main thing. Most of our reactions are reflexes learned in childhood, automatic programs that run without us even realizing it. He raised his voice. The shrink and stay silent program. He didn't pay attention. The I'm not important program. We can't change a program we don't see. You bring the dragon into the light. This journal is a lantern that you shine into the dark basement of your subconscious. When you write down an automatic thought, you see for the first time that very dragon that controls your reactions, and it immediately loses half its power. You create a life-saving pause between the stimulus and your reaction. There's a split second. Usually it passes by unnoticed. By keeping a journal, you consciously stretch out this pause. You teach your brain a new algorithm. Stop. Before reacting, let's analyze. Over time, this pause will become automatic in real life as well. You start treating the cause, not the symptoms. Arguments, silence, coldness in relationships, these are symptoms, like a fever with the flu. But the cause is that very automatic thought, that deep-seated fear. I'm not important. I'll be abandoned. By working with the thought, you address the source of the infection, not just bring down the fever. How can you make sure this works 100%? This notebook is your sacred, safe space. Be ruthlessly honest in it. Write down your most terrible and selfish thoughts. No one will see them. Consistency is more important than anything. Do this every day. Let it become a ritual, just like your morning coffee. Your task is to train your brain to notice these moments. In the evening, reread your notes. Try to spot a pattern. What situations triggered the same thought? What is your main fear behind all of this? Exercise 2. The key to a man's heart. What exactly should you do? Now that you've learned to understand what's happening to you, you will learn how to communicate it. We will use a formula that opens a man's ears and heart rather than triggering his defense mechanisms. Practice first on paper, analyzing situations from your journal. Count on your fingers, it will help you remember. Index finger, state the fact. Describe the situation like a video camera would. No judgments, no venom, no phrases like "I always" or "you never." When you came home from work and immediately sat down at the computer, I felt very lonely and invisible. Middle finger, emotion. Talk about yourself, about your own feelings. Use I statements. When you came home from work and immediately sat down at the computer, I felt very lonely and invisible. Thumb, request or suggestion. Give him a clear and understandable guide. What exactly he can do to fix the situation. That's why I'm really asking you. Let's agree that for the first 15 minutes after you come home, we just hug and talk, no gadgets. Why is this formula pure gold? It bypasses his defensive reflexes. When a man hears "you again," his brain instantly switches to defense or attack mode. He stops hearing you, he's getting ready for a fight. When you start with an unemotional fact, he stays in a calm, analytical state. He's ready to listen. Your feelings are indisputable. He can argue with facts. I wasn't sitting for long. But he can't argue with what you felt. By saying "I feel," you legitimize your emotion and show your vulnerability. And male nature is such that genuine female vulnerability makes one want to protect, not attack. You are giving him instructions for use. Men often think in algorithms. A vague complaint like "you don't love me" leaves him at a loss. What is he supposed to do? A specific request like "let's talk for 15 minutes" is a clear, doable task. He understands how to make you happy, and that's the best gift for him. How can you make sure this works 100%? Start practicing with small things. Don't jump straight into the heart of the conflict. Practice on the socks. "Honey, when I see socks not in the basket, that's a fact. I feel irritated. That's the emotion. Could you please put them there right away?" That's the request. Remember, this isn't manipulation to get your way. It's a sincere way to share your world. Your tone of voice should be calm and open, not demanding. Practice in a positive way. "When you hugged me this morning before leaving, that's a fact. I felt so loved and protected all day." That's the emotion. Please always do that. That's the request. Exercise 3. The reset button. The OK delay technique. What exactly should you do? This exercise is for the most heated moments when emotions are running high and you're ready either to explode or to give in and say that treacherous "okay." You introduce a new rule for yourself. The word "okay" and its siblings, whatever, "do what you want," are now your stop words. Instead, you now have a new magic phrase, a buffer phrase. "What you're saying is very important to me, but right now I'm emotional and can't respond constructively. Please give me 10 minutes, an hour, or until the evening to calm down and think, and we will definitely come back to this." Why is this a reset button and not an escape? You're saving your brain from overheating. During an argument, our logic, the prefrontal cortex, shuts down. Control is taken over by the ancient animal brain, the amygdala, which is responsible for the fight, flight, or freeze response. Requesting a timeout is a way to give your logic time to turn back on. Both of you step out of enemy mode and can return to being partners. You preserve your self-respect. By saying "fine," you're committing violence against yourself. You're agreeing to something you don't actually agree with. That resentment isn't going anywhere. It will settle inside you like a heavy burden and poison your relationship later. A timeout is an act of self-respect. My feelings matter, and I won't make a decision that betrays them. This is not a refusal to have a dialogue, but on the contrary, a step toward a higher quality conversation. How can you make sure this works 100%? The key point, warn him in advance. On a calm evening over tea, tell him, "My love, I'm learning to be better for us. I'm reading about psychology, and there's this one technique. Sometimes during an argument, I might ask for a pause to cool down. Please know that this doesn't mean I don't care. On the contrary, it means I want to resolve everything with love, not just emotions. Will you support me in this?" 99% of reasonable men will say yes. Always come back to the conversation. This is critically important. If you asked for an hour, come back in an hour. If you use this phrase as an escape, it will turn into manipulation and destroy trust. During the pause, don't wind yourself up. Use this time productively. Open your journal, Exercise 1, and formulate your position using the I message formula. Exercise 2. Return to the conversation prepared. So, my dear ones, here is your system for the next 2 weeks. It is simple and brilliant. Notice, Exercise 1. Formulate Exercise 2. Come to an agreement, taking a pause if needed, Exercise 3. This isn't about winning an argument with a man. It's about breaking down the wall between you. It's about bringing back closeness, trust, and warmth to your relationship. Your voice deserves to be heard. Your feelings deserve to be respected. Start doing this for yourself, and you'll see how the world around you will begin to echo you. Please write in the comments which of the 3 exercises seems the most difficult to you, and which one feels the most necessary right now. Your stories are very important. They create an incredible field of support here. And if you feel that the wall is too high or the tangle of hurt is too complicated to unravel on your own, don't torment yourself. Sometimes you need a guide. I invite you to a personal consultation, where together we will find the root of your problems and build your personal bridge to happy relationships. The link is always in the description. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell. We still have a lot of work ahead to turn your life into the one you've always dreamed of.